Good evening, gentlemen and ladies. Thank you very much for joining in. Thierry, revenue growth this quarter at -2%. It's exactly at the lower end of your guidance. In what way was this quarter slightly worse than what you had anticipated?
Yes, Reema, I think you're right. The revenue has been, at a little lower than expected, and while in the guidance still, the reality has been that the market has continued to be a little difficult over the last few weeks. We have seen same volume of reduction of discretionary than a little more than what I would have anticipated, and maybe a little bit of a time lag between deal closure and the start of project. So the reason I'm saying it's a mixed market is there's no doubt, Reema, that the macroeconomic environment is difficult. There is no doubt, across industries, in America, in Europe as well. I think we are seeing in banking, financial services, in the technology space, although possibly some improvements in the communications sector, we are seeing still a certain hesitation to engage on discretionary spend. And so this is, at the end of the day, while we have a great volume of business, we are winning a lot of deals. We've actually won more large deals this quarter than we've ever done over the last 9 quarters. And yet, on one end, those significant volume of deals that we win, that allows us to create a lot of backlog of deal to be delivered over the next quarters, but at the same time, a reduced volume of what we call discretionary spend. So typically can be consulting or could be technology, smaller projects that are not at the same level that they were a few quarters ago. And so that's how we end up with this projection, this view on revenue growth.
So what you call as discretionary projects, or your dependence on discretionary project, Thierry, how much does it contribute to your overall revenues? Any ballpark number?
That's a difficult one, actually, to respond, Reema, but I would say maybe discretionary spend would be in the 20–25% of our portfolio, right? Not all consulting is discretionary spend. Some technology is discretionary spend. It's not that simple to just characterize this category, but that would be more or less the volume of business that I'm seeing in our portfolio.
Got it. And on that, one more point, Thierry. You said there is a time lag between when the deals close and when you can start generating revenue from it. So the deals that you won in Q2, and they're very, very strong, will they contribute in H2 according to you, in Q3 or Q4, or will it only happen in FY25?
No, they will start to contribute in H2, there is no doubt. I think, our guidance for Q3 include the fact that we are seeing furloughs, as in Q3. Typically, this is when they're coming, and there will not be smaller in volume this year than they were last year. But I think as we are transitioning into Q4 and to next year, for sure those projects will kick in.
Okay, so Q4, starting Q4 onwards, Q4 FY24. Aparna, congratulations on the elevation, and look forward to speaking with you also a lot more. You have indicated that for Q3, margins will be range-bound, close to about 16%. But there is an impending wage hike. How much will it affect your margins in Q3 and in Q4? And also, when can you get back to the aspirational margin level of 17%?
Thank you, Reema. Yes, we did indicate that our margins will remain range bound in line with what we have delivered over the past few quarters. There is a salary increase which will be rolled out effective 1st December. So we will have 1 month impact of those salary wage hikes. And in Q4, we will have 2 incremental months compared to Q3. How much and the quantum, it'll all depend, but it is likely to remain in the same range as what we've done in the past. So we're not putting out a number out there. When we get closer to the, decision, we will decide that. In terms of when can we get back to acceleration, we have several efficiency measures that we've already put in place. They're right now putting up a very, very good front in terms of resilience of margins. Once the market environment begins to loosen up, we will then start seeing the expansion in margins towards our aspirational range, Reema.
Got it. So it only depends on when your operating leverage kicks in with the turn of the top line. Saurabh, how many freshers are you looking to hire in FY24? What was that number, say, at the beginning of the year, 6 months back? And how many have you onboarded so far? And what's been the delay in hiring?
So, Reema, we have not onboarded freshers in H1. We had made offers last year, and we need to onboard them as the market improves. So far, we have not onboarded freshers in this year, H1.
And how many will you need to onboard in H2 to honor all the commitments that you've made in the past for this year?
So we don't disclose numbers, but Reema, our hiring will continuously work basis what is our inventory, what is our utilization, what is our bench, what is the demand. A combination of all this, we will look at it. We are working and investing a lot on our the new gen associates. We are deploying them. We are improving our bench. We are improving our utilization, and as things pick up, we will continue to onboard. We continue to make a commitment and honor every offer we have made to our people and onboard them as and when the requirement is there.
Just the number that I wanted. What's the commitment that you've made to how many freshers?
So we don't share that number, Reema. We don't share the high number because we don't disclose it. It's that we just want to make sure that we honor everybody whom we have made an offer to.
Okay. Aparna, in the press conference, you also spoke about, in some way, cutting back on discretionary spending at Wipro itself. Clearly, one of the routes could be this delay in onboarding of freshers, so that maybe is a margin lever. But can you talk about what are the other avenues for you to flex your margins and cut back on the costs?
Obviously, discretionary spend cuts means what we spend on travel, what we spend on marketing, what we spend on recruitment, and a whole lot of other measures, including looking at the layers that we have in the organization, and we have a full efficiency program that is being run, and Amit spoke about it in the press conference. So there are several actions in play, Reema. So when I look forward, there are many levers that we can flex in order to defend and expand our margins in the medium term.
Thierry, what's the deal pipeline and how would it compare? Because you have closed a fair number of deals in Q2. So is the deal pipeline still at elevated levels? Is it at record levels or the second highest on record? You want to provide some color on the deal pipeline, and then even on Gen AI. Do you think you will be able to start getting revenues from generative AI and you will be able to quantify it like Accenture does anytime soon?
So on the so let me address the two questions, Reema. On the first one, which is the pipeline, indeed, our pipeline is very healthy. What we are seeing is that, including in the sectors where, we've been more exposed from, a growth standpoint over the last quarters, we are seeing a very healthy pipeline building up. So that gives us confidence for sure in terms of volume of business. When I look at, the expected bookings for this quarter, it should be another strong quarter in terms of bookings. So the pipeline is here, is supporting our growth, and gives me great confidence. In AI, it is absolutely the topic that we are covering systematically in every leadership meeting inside Wipro over the last months. And we are driving, multiple initiatives, whether it is to train our employees. 180,000 of them have been trained so far on GenAI. We continue to, train at a higher level, the practitioners, 55,000 of them, to be able to, work and deliver AI and GenAI projects tomorrow. The volume, the number of active engagements with clients has doubled this quarter from the previous quarter, right? And we are prepared to this kind of growth for the quarters to come. So that is as much as while we are working on levers to, deliver our profitability in a context where there is no growth, we are not slowing down. And that is a very conscious decision on our side. We are not slowing down on our investment in AI and GenAI.
Thierry, Aparna, Saurabh, thank you very much for joining in and wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Reema, thank you.
Thank you, Siddhartha.